Hello and welcome back to the EmpowerHer Business Accelerator podcast. I am Philippa Channer, your host, and today we're continuing our December series on content pillars, content types, and planning. Before we jump into today's topic, there's a quick reminder that the EmpowerHer program group session is launching in January, as well as the EmpowerHer Power session, the short 4-hour version of the program. The new year is the perfect time to elevate your marketing and your business strategy with a community of driven entrepreneurs. So be sure to check out both of these opportunities. The link with more details is in the show notes. So check it out. I would love to see you guys there. Hey, one more thing before we get started. It is the holiday season, and I'm so excited to share something special with you. As a huge thank you for being part of this amazing community of female entrepreneurs, I'm running a holiday giveaway just for you. From November 15th to December 15th, you have the chance to win one of 2 stacks of incredible books that I've personally chosen to help you kick off 2024 with inspiration, insight, and practical strategies. These books are a combination of powerful resources on copywriting and entrepreneurial motivation, 2 key areas that can make a big difference as you grow your business. Now, I'm going to be sharing all the details about which books are included in the show notes, but just to give you a sneak peek, these books will help you write better marketing content and stay motivated on your entrepreneurial journey. Who doesn't need a little extra push when it comes to those 2 areas, right? Now, entering is super easy. Here's what you need to do. I want you to subscribe to the EmpowerHer podcast wherever you're listening to it if you already haven't done so. Next, you're going to share your best business growth tip on my Instagram or LinkedIn giveaway post. Either one of those are fine. And then you want to tag 3 fellow female entrepreneurs you think would benefit from these books or just need a little inspiration for the holiday season. And here's the best part. If you sign up for my EmpowerHer group session launching in January, you'll get a bonus entry to double your chances of winning. Now, not just one bonus entry, I'm going to give you 10 bonus entries just for signing up for the group session. Guys, you can't miss out. All right, so I'm going to be picking 2 lucky winners and announcing them on December 18th, just in time to add some extra holiday joy to your gift baskets. So head over to the show notes for more details, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and or LinkedIn for the update and for when the post goes live so you can leave a comment. Let's end the year strong together and get ready to level up in 2025. Now let's get into today's message, where we're looking at exploring the different content types, how to choose the right format for your message. Now, in last week's episode, we talked about building content pillars, the foundation of your content strategy. So now that we've defined and we figured out what our messages we want to share are based on these pillars, today we're going to explore the different ways that we can deliver these messages by reviewing various content types. Choosing the right format is just as important as the message itself, because we want to ensure that you're connecting with your audience in the most impactful and effective way. So there are many different types of content and many different ways that you can share your message. And choosing the right content type is key to ensuring that your message resonates with your audience, and also in a way that makes you feel comfortable on delivering it. Some of the most popular content types include blogs and articles, so basically long format written content. This is great for SEO and driving traffic to your website, especially if you're depending on your website to drive sales. So blog posts allow you to provide in-depth information, tutorials, or tips, and they're perfect for showcasing your expertise. Those will typically live on your website. Oftentimes when you're writing articles for other publications. So same thing, it's great for your website SEO because it's eventually, if it's linked properly, it's going to link back to your website where people can learn more about you. But same thing, you've got a long form content where you can provide, again, in-depth information, different tutorials, tips, different ways that you can really show you know what you're talking about. Another way to create content is by doing video. Video content is powerful for engagement and storytelling. Whether it's live streams or YouTube videos or short clips for social media, videos can connect you with your audience on a more personal level. There's nothing like seeing a person and as they're talking and interacting and connecting with them deeper. Another way of creating content is podcasts, just like this one. Podcasts allow you to dive deep into topics, build rapport with your audience, and position yourself as an authority in your field. They're especially effective for people who prefer to consume content while multitasking, like driving or exercising, doing the dishes, cooking dinner. That's how I typically listen to my podcast, and I learn so much. Now, every now and then I'll hear a nugget where I'll stop and I'll have a notepad close by where it's like, oh, I need to, they referenced a book I need to check out, or they referenced something else, or they just made a quick tip that I can apply to my business right away. I'm going to write that stuff down and apply it for later. But those are great ways to consume content. So you may want to consider it for your own brand in delivering your content, your message. I've thankfully had been very successful in getting people's attention and getting some clients just from this podcast. And so it's effective. It works. Another way to create content is by designing and distributing infographics. These are excellent for visually presenting data, facts, or processing it in a way that's easy to digest and shareable. So if you are artistically inclined or you know how to use Canva and create some great infographics about the material you have, that is a great way to share it. You can even oftentimes put those behind a download, give me your email address to download this free infographic. That's a great way to build your email list as well. Speaking of email list, there's e-newsletters. Emails provide a direct line of communication with your audience and are effective for nurturing relationships, offering exclusive content, and promoting sales and events. So email newsletters are amazing, and I highly recommend it for I can't think of a brand where emails don't make sense. And then the last one, of course, which is probably the most used and heavily active one, is social media posts. Quick, engaging content that builds awareness and engagement. Social media posts are great for keeping your audience updated, promoting offers, and just creating conversations within a larger community. It takes it from one-to-one to one-to-many, and a lot of people can engage and add their insight and input into posts that you do. So choosing the right content type for your business, that's going to be important. So when you're choosing the content type that works best for your business, you want to consider 3 different things: your audience, your message, and your goal. Now, I also want to add one more here, and that's just your preference. I'll start with this one is if you choose a method that's great for your audience, but it's not great for you, people are going to see it and smell it right away. So for instance, I know the value of video marketing. I know how impactful it can be, but I also know me, and I know when I try to show up in video content, I try to do this podcast as videos, I know how I showed up, and it was just not my best. I was so concerned and so overwhelmed with editing my video and editing what I look like versus what I sound like, and it was not a good experience. And I feel like I'm able to show up more authentically just by speaking my voice than showing up in a video. So I have to know my limitations, because I don't want me sounding awkward when I'm trying to deliver the message. I want to sound authoritative. I want to sound confident. I want to sound like I know what I'm talking about. And I couldn't do that showing up in video. So you have to know your limitations. Now, that doesn't mean you can't and I can't grow into something. So I could practice video more frequently and get more confident, get more comfortable, and let go of any issues I have looking at my face and editing expressions and thinking everybody cares about that when they really don't. So I could overcome that, but I know to get started and to get out the door, I had to just focus on what I do best and make the most out of that format first. So that's what I want to recommend starting off, is knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, and starting where you are the strongest, and then building and adding on as you develop as a brand and mature. Okay. So once we figure out the format that you're the most comfortable with, now we do want to start considering your audience, your message, and your goals. So let's talk about the audience first. Where does your audience spend most of their time? Are they more likely to watch videos, or are they going to want to read a blog post? If your audience is active on social media, you want to consider creating short, snackable content that's easily shared and easy to respond to. If they prefer in-depth information, then blogs, podcasts, or webinars might be a better choice. So you really have to go back to where this all started and know your audience, know what their preference is, know when they need information, where are they going, how do they like to consume information, and try to make content that aligns with where they are. The next is your message. What's the best way to convey the message that you have to deliver? Some content types are better suited for certain messages. So for example, a complex concept or a detailed tutorial might be easier to explain through a blog post or video, while a quick tip or update could work just as well as a social media post. So think of the message you want to share. How big and vast? How long is it? How detailed is it? Does somebody need to stop and read and really focus on each step? Or can they hear it once and apply it? You need to think through the content, think about the user and as they're consuming it, what their actions, what you want their actions to be and what they could be. All right, and then of course, now I just said what you want the audience to do is your goals. What are you trying to achieve with this content? If your goal is to drive traffic to your website, blogs and articles optimized for SEO might be your best bet. If you want to build deeper connections with your audience, a podcast or a video series might foster that relationship. If you're looking for quick information or quick feedback on something, social media post might be best. So again, it all depends on what you're trying to accomplish. The good thing here is you don't have to stick to one. You don't have to pick one type and just that's it. And you're stuck to it. You can mix and match. So here's some examples of matching content types to goals. And then we're going to get into just mix and matching content. So first, mention your goals. Here's one goal is building brand awareness and driving traffic to your website. The content type you're going to want to focus on is blog posts, SEO optimized articles to rank higher in search engines and attract visitors. Maybe your goal is to build a personal connection with your audience. Content type suggested here is going to be videos or podcasts to share stories. The next one is educating your audience and showcasing your expertise. The great type for this is webinars or detailed guides or infographics that break down complex topics, really showcase how much you know about something. All right, so as I mentioned, mixing, matching content is perfectly acceptable. You want to take a look at each time you're going to create content, look at what is being presented and find the best content format to fit that medium. And then you know where to go from there. Hopefully it's a content that you're comfortable with. And let's say, for instance, you have a great topic that you want to deliver and you know it's going to be best delivered via a video. But as I mentioned, maybe you're like me and you don't like doing videos. So maybe there's somebody else on your team or somebody else in your network that can deliver great content, that you can give them the script and the outline and they can learn the message themselves and they can deliver your message for you. And so it's still under your brand. Everything is identified as you, but at least, you're getting a great video out of it in a delivered a way that's comfortable for the person who's delivering it, but your audience is still learning about you and your expertise. So maybe that's an option for you. So one of the most effective ways to maximize your efforts is also to repurpose your content. So I mentioned mix and match in your content types here. Another way is to repurpose your content. You don't have to create new content from scratch each and every time you need to deliver a message. Instead, you want to take one piece of content and turn it into several formats. So for example, you want to record a video for YouTube. You can turn that video into a blog post by summarizing the key points. You can then break that blog post into smaller tips to share on social media. You can extract audio from the original video and turn that into a podcast episode. You can use data or stats mentioned in the video to create an infographic. You see how you can take one piece of content that you've invested in, you've written for, and transform it into many different ways of sharing content and meeting people where they are. This way, you're leveraging one piece of content across multiple platforms. You're reaching different segments of your audience in formats that they prefer to consume content in. So when it comes to choosing the right content type for your messaging, it's all about aligning it with your audience, your goals, and the nature of the information you want to share. And remember, you don't need to stick with just one type, okay? by diversifying your content formats, you'll be able to reach a wider audience and make the most out of your content efforts. So thanks for joining me again today on this episode. Next week, we're taking this even a step further, and we're going to be diving into creating a content plan that's not only sustainable, but it also aligns with your business goals for the long term. And don't forget, if you want to take advantage of the 15% discount off of the Empower Her Power session or the group session launching in January, make sure you sign up by Cyber Monday, which is December 2nd. If you're interested in learning more, I'm also offering a free session to chat one-on-one about how the Empower Her program can help you reach your goals. The link for this and for the deal are both in the show notes below. Until next time, ladies, keep shining, and remember, the right content type can make all the difference in how effectively you communicate with your audience.